Fancy retiring in your 30s? Even amid pressure to raise South Korea's retirement age up from 60, a counter-trend is encouraging voluntary early retirement. So, as this year's economic downturn is expected to roll over into 2025, companies here are tightening their belts one after another. A recent survey by the Korea Employers Federation found that around half of local companies with 30 or more employees have decided on austerity management as their tone for next year, while 61% of larger corporations with over 300 employees replied that they'd implement tighter management, the highest since 2016. And one of the trending strategies is to cut labor costs, as a whole series of major companies in Korea have announced voluntary retirement programs this year. A prominent recent example is Coca-Cola Beverage, which initiated its first voluntary retirement program since being acquired by LG Household and Healthcare in 2007. And we've seen 7-Eleven do so for the first time, though it's under the ownership of Lotte, which has also seen numerous affiliates join this trend. You can add to the list the likes of Shinsegae, SK, KT, and several more well-known Korean conglomerates. In reality, voluntary early retirement, as it's referred to here, looks a lot like voluntary redundancy, with companies offering financial incentives to workers to quit. Otherwise, they'd be protected by local labor laws and be able to stay in their positions while corporations struggle. In some cases, voluntary retirement's been offered to all employees regardless of how old they are, but there's a real concern that we'll suddenly see a spike in the number of people, say, in their 40s and 50s, who are either pressured or tempted by financial incentives to leave work and find themselves with no real job prospects years and even decades before they'd otherwise have faced such a situation. And this month, a report published by Woori-Financial-Group showed that 6 out of 10 people from Generation X, those aged between 45 and 54, are not yet preparing for retirement. Far from thinking of actual retirement, they may well need to work well beyond what's legally supposed to be the case at 60, as a chronically low birth rate swiftly turning Korea into one of the fastest aging societies in the world, which brings with it a host of challenging issues that burden the country further.